Ladies and gentlemen, I was right. I was freaking right about the C8 ZR1. Can you believe it? The official numbers for the C8 ZR1 quarter mile time just got released and I was right. For those of you who have not been following me for that long, or for those of you who've been following me for a long time, you know that I made a video 4 months ago. In that video, it was a 30-minute long video where I detailed all of my calculations. I used a lot of different numbers and a lot of different factors to calculate exactly what the C8 ZR1 quarter mile time was going to be. And guess what?
Ready? All right, so manufacturer advertised time that they're going to advertise and put out there to the world that their test drivers are going to do, it's going to be a 9.6 at 150 miles per hour. Consumers, most of your normal consumers will be able to most likely do a 9.8 at 148 to 150 miles per hour. And then any knowledgeable drag racers who get their hands on the car will most likely be in the 9.3 at 150 plus miles per hour. Probably 151, 152, 153, somewhere in that range. Knowledgeable drag racers will probably be 9.3 to 150. Those same knowledgeable drag racers who get into Hero DA. So when I say Hero DA, density altitude that is like -1,000, -1,500, like in Maryland in the winter, Virginia in the winter at the drag strips over there where it's super cold and the DA is like perfect and the weather's perfect. Those who are at Hero DA, who have drag radials, skinnies up front, maybe pull out the passenger seat, those who do that, if you will do that, those folks will go 9.0 at 155 miles per hour.
I was right. So they just released the numbers. The C8 ZR1 did an astonishing 9.6 at 150 miles per hour in the quarter mile with a 0 to 60 time of 2.3. Now, my 0 to 60 time was off by 1/10, but it was just only off by 1 cent. But my quarter mile time was spot on. I am so excited about this, and I'm so happy that my calculations in that long freaking video I made actually meant something. 1,064 horsepower, the most powerful Corvette ever, the most powerful vehicle from GM ever, and this thing just did a 9.6 at 150 miles per hour. Now, there's some other numbers that I calculated in that video. I calculated the numbers that I thought the factory was going to go run at the quarter mile with the stock standard tire the car comes with, but I also calculated what the quarter mile is going to be once you throw on an actual drag radial, like a Mickey Thompson or maybe a Hoosier or whatever. Once you throw on a proper drag radial, let's say like a 19-inch or 20-inch on that car, and you go run it at the drag strip, it's going to run even faster. And I calculated that down to the lower 9-second range, but I really think in really good density altitude, this car is going to run an 8.9 in the quarter mile. Watch. Once again, I'm going to be right again on that one. I am so pumped for getting these numbers right. Man, I was nervous the whole time thinking, did I get my numbers right? Did I get the calculations right? Was my assumed data correct, right? I don't know, but I just did some math based off all my experiences, drag racing, road racing, professional racing, and just being around street cars for a really long time. I used my experience, my mathematical skills that I learned from the Naval Academy. I put it all together, analyzed everything properly, and was able to make the correct guess. And it worked. It really, really worked. So next time someone doubts my numbers, guess what? You can go eat it. Luckily, not a lot of people doubted it. A lot of people actually agreed with me that the numbers were going to be what they were. What I calculated made sense. There was probably some people who probably didn't fully believe it, but hey, I was right. I was really, really right. They did the test and it worked. Now, I can't wait to see the video of them actually running the 9.6 because I saw like an Instagram post, and in the Instagram post, it didn't show them running the quarter mile. It just stated their numbers at the very end. I don't know why they did that subtly like that, whatever. But I really would like to see the actual video at the quarter mile track of them running it. Like, that would be sick. or get the car in someone's hands like me so that I can go run it a quarter mile and see what this thing can do. And then let me swap on some drag radios and I'll really show you what this beast can do. Another reason this really makes me super happy is because now I can take my calculations and my method and use that to calculate the C8 ZR1 potential quarter miles, top speed, 0 to 60, 8th mile, you name it. Now, obviously we don't have all the numbers yet, at least on the horsepower side for that car, but once we get closer to knowing those numbers, I'll be able to redo it, and well before the car comes out in public, I will be able to tell all of you exactly what's gonna run in the quarter mile, because I've now figured out to a science exactly how to figure this stuff out, and I'm so happy I was able to do it. And it wasn't easy. I could have taken a very educated guess and probably still been close, which I did. Actually, I did. Before I even did all the calculations, I knew it was gonna be 9.6 at 150, just because I just know what I know. But I was like, no one's gonna believe me unless I back it up with real science and real math, and that's what I did. And like I said, once you get a proper drag radial on this car, you are going to see that this thing is even faster than what we're all seeing being announced right now. 9.6 at 150 is a pretty fast quarter mile time stock from the factory, but I'm telling you, this car is an 8.9 second car with drag radials. Most people with drag radials are probably gonna run in the 9.2 range or somewhere. I talked about it on the 30-minute long video. I actually didn't go back and watch the whole thing to see what I said on the quarter mile times for drag radials for most people are gonna do, but I can go pull it up. Or you can go back to the video and watch yourself. Just scroll down, you'll see it. Quarter mile time for the C8 ZR1. I wrote it in the description and the caption and everything and the title, and you'll see the video is from 4 months ago. You can go watch it all yourself. But this car with the proper drag radial and good density altitude, so most likely in the winter in like February or March in Maryland at one of those Maryland drag strips, that's where you'll be able to achieve the best possible time with really good prep, a good drag radial at night. The thing, you'll be in negative 1200 DA. You'll be able to run an amazing time. Although the C8 ZR1 is coming out, I'm still super excited and happy and proud to have a C8 Z06 and a C8 E-Ray. You'll be seeing more E-Ray content from me, pretty soon, because I'll be making some more videos and launching those so you can all see. But as you know, this is my baby right here. This is my C8 Z06. I've done a few mods to it. It's quick, it's fast, it's fun. I got the forged light wheels on it. I got the big old Z07R front splitter, which you can only get from Iwuji and I also got some other goodies like the Venturi air intake, Porter throttle bodies from Solar Performance. I got the exhaust from AWE. That sounds absolutely amazing. So every time one of you hear my car, you know what's up. We got the cross brace from Speedway Composites. Every single thing I'm mentioning is on my website at www.jesseiwujiperformance.com. These are some exciting times in the car world, especially in the Corvette world. A 9.6 at 150 mile per hour quarter mile time for a stock vehicle coming out of a factory with a freaking warranty. Can you believe it? This is absolutely incredible. I never thought the day would come when we would see a 9-second car from GM like this from the factory and announce, like, this is crazy. Crazy thing though is, the C8 Z06 stock record, when I say stock power, it had drag radials on it, skinnies up front, and the passenger seat pulled. It went 9.98. That's the record right now. My car's only done like a 10.4. Some other cars have done 10.3s, 10.2s, you name it. But 9.98 is the record. So this is a 9-second car too, by the way. That's why I'm saying this. GM announced the C8 Z06 at a 10.5. A 10.5 in the quarter mile at 128, 129 mile per hour. That's what they announced from the factory. And then you put it in a consumer's hands, you throw some drag radials on it, pull a little bit of weight out of it with the passenger seat, you put some skinnies up front, and guess what? The Z06 went from that 10.5 down to a 9.98. Why wouldn't you think that we couldn't go from a 9.6 to a 8.9 in the quarter mile? Yes, I know 9.6 to 8.9 is a way harder feat than it is to go from 10.5 to 9.9 to 9.98. I know that. Trust me, I know. I've been drag racing for a while. I understand that. But with all the extra power, the extra boost, I think it's possible. That extra boost with the extra dense air and all the stuff you need in good DA is really going to help out those turbos. They're massive turbos sucking in a lot of air. You put
some really cold air into it thing, that thing is going to be ripping. I promise you, especially if you give it the proper grip, you let this thing launch, grip, and rip. These are some incredible times for these absolute units of cars, the Z06s, the E-Rays, the ZR1s, and then in the future, we're gonna have the Zora. So many cool things coming up for these cars, and I am so excited to be around for it. Now, I did, on paper, go do some calculations, similar style, similar methodology as I did for the quarter mile to actually find out what the C8 ZR1 would run at the Nürburgring. I'm not fully confident in how I did it because I started coming up with some mixed numbers and mixed things, and I just was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be right on this one. I knew I was gonna be right on the quarter mile, but I'm not fully sure on the Nürburgring, so I don't think I'm gonna release that video, unless you really want me to. If you want me to release a Nürburgring video of what I'm guessing the Nürburgring time is going to be, and it's not just a guess, it's actually like using calculations, using mathematics to figure it out, I'll do the video, but y'all gotta write a ton of comments in the bottom basically saying that, Jesse, you need to do that video. If I don't see a bunch of comments, then I'm not doing the video. Exciting times for some exciting cars. This is such a cool time to be a car guy, especially a Corvette fan. I cannot wait until we see what's coming next with the ZR1. We got some cool stuff coming up, more cool numbers, more cool data and everything. And then guess what? Right after that's going to be the Zora. Before we finish up this video, I want you all to make some educated guesses yourself on the C8 Zora. What's your thoughts on the Zora? Power, how much power do you think it's gonna have? Also, what kind of times is it gonna run in the quarter mile? I'm gonna tell you my guess right now on the power numbers. A lot of people are just adding the C8 E-Ray electrical motor power to the C8 ZR1 engine power with the turbos, right? The C8 ZR1 is coming with 1,064 horsepower, and then the electric motors from the E-Ray is an extra 155 horsepower, if I'm not mistaken. So 155 plus 1,064, what does that give you? That gives you, do the math, it gives you like 1,200 and something horsepower, just over 1,200 horsepower, right? Well, guess what? I don't think that's gonna be the number that the C8 ZR1 has as far as horsepower numbers. I think it's gonna be more. Here's why. Why in the world would GM create a car that is just coupling both of those entities, right? You got the electric motor from the E-Ray, the 1,064 horsepower from the ZR1. Why would they just couple that up and just call it a day? You know what that is? That's called lazy. Lazy as crap. They wouldn't do that because they're not a lazy company. This is what they're gonna do. They're gonna find a way to extract more electrical horsepower from those electric motors. I can fully see the ZR1 motor that's gonna be in it still being 1,064 horsepower, maybe cranking out a little bit more. You turn up the boost a pound or two, you get, another 25 to 50 horsepower or whatever out of it. Cool, I can see that happening. But then the electric motors, they're not gonna be 155 horsepower. I believe they're gonna crank that thing up probably another 100 horsepower or so, up to 250, maybe even 300 horsepower out of the front. Let's say they get it up to 300. It's gonna be 300 plus, let's say 1,100 horsepower motor in the rear. You add that together, we're gonna be seeing a 1,400 horsepower car coming from the factory from GM for the Zora. I promise you that. I am saying it right now. In a few years, a couple years, 1 year, whenever they release the numbers, I'm telling you right now, it is going to be a 1,400 plus horsepower car. That's my guess. I'm sticking with it, and I'm gonna do one of these videos again where I told you I was right. Y'all stick with me on it. I might have to zoom back about like 2 years, 1 year, whenever we get these numbers, who knows? But I'm telling you, 1,400 horsepower car is gonna be coming, and I am so excited that we're getting something like that from GM. So anyways, that's the video for today. Just wanted to tell you all guys and girls that I was right. No, honestly, I'm humble, I'm cool, actually. This is a fun video to make. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for always listening to me yap all day long about Corvettes and other fun cars. I'll be making more videos on more cars and things and doing some more comparison tests. It's gonna be fun. Keep tuning in, keep watching, and I cannot wait to get to the next video and show you all what's up with these beautiful, beautiful C8 generation Corvettes. Thank you so much. I'm out.